life experiences, I think, make you a richer writer. But yeah, write sooner and stop worrying what everyone else is thinking. They're not thinking about you. Just write.
You are now listening to the Highlight Reel Builder for Authors, the podcast for those who want to advance into the business of immortality through authorship, the Going North podcast. I'm your host, certified self-leadership trainer and author of the best-selling book, Stay the Course, Daily Performer's 7 Secret Keys to Sustainable Success, Dom Brightman. And you're going to be getting some goodies today from the guest that's up next. And today on the Highlight Reel Builder for Authors, known as the Going North podcast, I got to thank my good buddy, Mr. Eminem himself. No, I ain't talking about the candy, and no, I'm not talking about the rapper, even though both are good. I'm talking about Mickey Mickelson, baby. That's right. The chieftain of the Creative Edge Publicity Crew, baby. We got another guest from the Creative Edge crew, baby, all the way from Canada, my friends, all the way from Canada. I'll just mess with you. It's Canada and a special part of Canada, because this lady right here, oh my goodness, award-winning author, folks. And she ain't just any award-winning author. She writes addictive fiction with a supernatural twist that keeps you on the edge of your seat. That's right, folks, it's on the edge of your seat. That's right. If you read any more closer and you try to finish the book too fast, boom, you'll fall out for trying to finish too fast because of that good, folks. And what makes it even better is that she's a rebirth queen, because she was able to take her wonderful book series that's also an audio where her lovely voice can be heard on them. She was able to rebrand the covers of all of her fabulous books and even won the award because of it and all of that wonderful goodness. So let's give it up for the wonderful, the fabulous, the joyful JP McLean. How you doing today, JP?
Oh, I am doing just fine. I've got absolutely no complaints, Dom. How are you doing?
Doing fabulous. That's right. Doing fabulous indeed. Heck, even marvelous. And I blame you for that. I blame you for making me feel marvelous.
Okay, I'm happy to take the blame for that. That would make my evening.
Woohoo! There we go. Maybe I'll work it up to the day eventually. Let me stop. Oh, man. I'm just messing with you. But hey, speaking of days and evenings, you know, intros are not allowed to be 55 days long. So mind filling in any cavities I missed about you?
You did not miss a thing, Dom. You are very thorough, very thorough. You have done your homework. 5 stars to you.
Oh, yay, 5 magical stars. Well, that's right. And she's off the market, folks. She's already married.
That's true. That is true. I am.
Yeah. That's right. I knew I missed something.
Yeah, but I'm not dead. So, you know, that's what my mother used to say. Well, I may be married, but I'm not dead. I can still look.
Oh, okay. I am so stealing that one. Alrighty. That's right. The power of staying young is possible for each other. That's what I'm talking about. That's right. That's right, indeed. Heck, even staying young as possible involves creativity, and creativity is what led you to create all these wonderful books. So my goodness. So the wonderful JP herself, see herself where she would be today with all these wonderful award-winning novels and writing even more.
Oh my goodness, no. No, this was a nice surprise. I wish I'd known how much I was going to enjoy writing years ago, but I didn't discover it until later in life. And I'm so glad I did. I'd been absolutely absorbed in urban fantasy land, reading all kinds of urban fantasy, Deborah Harkness and Kelly Armstrong, Charlene Harris, Neil Gaiman. Oh, the list goes on. And I had recently been I came home with my husband after having been spent years in the sunny South, 3 years in the States, as a matter of fact, in Arizona, and 2 years in Mexico. And I got that first winter back here when it was so cold and dreary and rainy. And I thought to myself, I cannot go through a whole winter without the sunshine that I had been used to. So I needed to find something to do so I wouldn't go stir crazy. And because I've been reading so much urban fantasy, I thought I would try my hand at it. And as it turns out, both hands got involved, and now there are 7 books out there.
That's what I'm talking about, indeed. That's what I'm talking about, indeed. Lucky 7.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Lucky 7, indeed. Heck, moving all over the darn North and South America almost. Well, to be honest, really all of North America. My goodness. So Arizona, Mexico, then all the way back to way up north in the wonderful continent, the wonderful country of Canada, where it's extra cold. So what led to?
Canada.
Oh, there we go. Canada. There we go. All right. Another way of saying it. All right. Yes. There we go. Who needs tomato? It's about the tomatoes today. Oh my goodness. So with all that cold leading you to embrace your creativity and write, what led to all the moving? Like, was it work or was it something totally different?
Well, at first it was university. I left Toronto, where I was raised, to go to the University of British Columbia. So that took me to the West Coast. And within days of being on the West Coast, I knew I wouldn't go back to Toronto, just because the West Coast is so beautiful. It, mountains, skiing in the morning and sailing in the afternoon if you want to, and really nice beaches, and just a beautiful place to be. And after I finished university, I worked for some time in in Vancouver. And then when I met my husband, he and I started doing quite a bit of traveling, just vacation traveling for the most part. And then he decided he didn't decide, we decided that it'd be fun to take a couple of jobs. He works in mining, and it would be fun to take a couple of jobs and travel with his work. And so that's what we did. And we went to Mexico, lived there, had a great time, learned so much, and then did the Arizona thing for a couple of years. Oh, and I'd forgotten, we actually did one winter in Calgary, Alberta, which is the next province over from us. And it's very cold there. So we had a very cold winter with lots of snow. And then settled back down here. And that's when the writing habit started.
Oh yeah, and boy, did it start. You thought you were just gonna write one of those one-off novels and be done with it, but you caught the itch. The muse found you.
I sure did. Sure did. Now she's whacking me over the head. Get another book out of you. Come on, one more book. One more book.
So is there a specific goal in mind for books now that you got past the first one and now you're on 7?
Well, I have, actually, I indie published this series mainly due to my impatience. And so I thought, I've got a new book ready to go. And what I thought I would do with the new book is try to get a traditional publisher and just see if the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. So yeah, I have a new book that's in the can and out there on submission. So we'll see if that goes anywhere. And if not, then I'll consider indie publishing it as well.
Yeah, that's right. Show them that you have the better grass. That's right. Indie publishing. That's right. More control. Mine, darn it. I won't have to pull out the whip.
It is fun to have the control, but it's also a lot of work. There's no question that it is an awful lot of work, and it'd just be interesting to see what may lie on the traditional publishing side of things.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Funny enough, some folks who've had their heck even on the show in the past have mentioned how the traditional publishing is extra slow compared to the regular indie publishing, where it's like, oh, you're gonna have less control and on the publishing side of the game, and you're gonna have to still do a lot of work either way. So it's like if I'm gonna do the same amount of work but I have less control, it's like, you know what? I'm gonna do indie. But even though the big publisher, it'd be nice to have them publish the magic book to say I did it, just to be on the other side and be like, all right, let's see if this is some real good Kentucky bluegrass here.
Yeah, just once, just try it, see if you like it, right?
Ah, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So my goodness, you have so much wonderful knowledge in the indie author game because you've actually published quite a few of your books. You're able to rebrand all of them and get new, shinier covers for them.
Yeah, I that was one of the things that you do when you're an indie is you learn as you go, and maybe a traditional publisher wouldn't have made the mistakes I made, but in any case, I learned from them. I initially had the series out with covers that were beautiful, and they were absolutely beautiful. They could be put on the wall for painting. And that was the mistake, is that I went for a beautiful cover, hired a very talented designer, but I didn't hire a book designer. So what I ended up with were beautiful covers, but they weren't attracting the urban fantasy or supernatural reader. And so I rebranded. I had hired a company to do the covers. And at that point, I had all the books finished. So they did all the covers at the same time. And they did a fantastic job. They are JD&J designers out of the States. And the cover that they did for Secret Sky, which is the first book in the series, won best overall cover in the Kobo store, the whole Kobo store in, gosh, I'd forgotten what year it came out, in 2018 or 2019. So that was a pretty big deal at that time that it won that award. And I've certainly seen the difference that having professionally designed book covers by book cover designers, it's made a huge difference. The sales are up and the interest is up, and people know pretty much right away when they look at it that it's otherworldly.
Ah, that's what I'm talking about indeed. Nick, you dropped some solid information right there. Heck, even kind of really goes to some classic advice for just getting along with others. Like, hey, show yourself friendly. In this case, it's like make sure your book covers are fitting for the type of genre you're writing for. So that way, those who read those type of books be like, oh, this looks like something I'd enjoy. So that way they can be drawn closer to you like a magnet.
That's the plan. Mm,
That's right. That's right. Some Joe and magnet swag. That's right.
there
That's
you
right.
go.
That's
There
right.
you go.
It's a mighty magic magnet. Oh my goodness. And what's even better is that you're able to read, if I'm not mistaken, I believe 4 out of 7 of your books are done by you in audio, right? Or is it all 7?
No, I've only recorded the first chapters of all of them. I haven't recorded them. That's on my to-do list, having them out in audio. The expense of having that done in audio is prohibitive for a series. If you only have one book, you can do it. But when I'm looking at 7 books, and there's no point in doing just one, people would expect them all to be done. So when I do them, I'll be doing all of them. And maybe I'll pay for that with that big, juicy traditional publishing contract that I'm going to get.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is interesting. So, first chapter's done for all of them. Man, the cost, I'm assuming, was it studio time or was it just equipment?
No, no,
Oh,
I just did it myself on SoundCloud.
oh, okay. Yeah, because I heard 2 of them and I'm like, oh, okay, this is good. All righty. So sweet. Need to hear. It's like folks like, oh, come on, folks gonna be wanting more now, especially now where folks are always on the move, even if it's in their homes and they're putting on earbuds. It's like, oh, hey kid, how you doing? Like, all right, yeah, listen to some great audiobook while washing dishes or whatever, and they need that JP voice in their ears.
That whole process of recording is so much harder than it seems when you're listening to it. It just sounds magical. But even just doing the first chapter, and I wrote the darn thing, so you would think that I would be able to read it without making an error. Just one chapter. It probably took me a day to read that one chapter so that it didn't have any mistakes in it. It was harder than it seemed. I have much more respect now for the people that do the news that are reading from teleprompters. They are very talented, and I didn't realize that until I tried recording my own first chapters of the books.
Heck, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. Yeah, because first ever book I read was my first one. I'm like, okay, did that fine. Then the second book, it was like, oh man. And then I helped out another buddy with his audiobook project, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like all the dead air and all the double sentences, and heck, even the choke, like the hiccup noises, the coughing noises, the sneezes. And then, of course, I'm not lucky enough to live on a fancy island yet, so I got occasional noisy neighbors and occasional police and fire departments, fire trucks coming around the neighborhood. It's like, meow, like, no,
Oh no.
no, I was on a roll. After we record, no.
Do you have a studio at your home?
Yeah, it's set up. It's just the only thing is don't have enough soundproofing for the walls yet. So it's like, oh
Yeah.
crap.
Well, you've got a
Yes.
great voice for it. Really good.
Oh, wow, thank you. Wow, thank you indeed. That's right. It's the good voice conglomerate right here, starting with us. The GVC. That's what I'm talking about. Well, keep at it. You can do it. You can do it. Just set
Yeah.
aside like 3 months. You can do it.
The 3 months per book. Yes. Uh, yeah, I probably could do it, but man, it would take a lot of time.
Yeah, your best bet's just to read the whole book and then edit it afterwards.
Yeah. How long did it take you to do yours?
Oh, it took weeks. Man, let's see, because the second one that's still going through the Audible. I have to do that one over again, parts of it, and then the other audio project took about a good. I say it took about a good month and a half, almost
Wow.
2 months, because I have a full time day job on top of all of this, on top of the podcast, and of course the side business. So it's like, oh yeah, so it took about a good month and a half, and Audible approval that's taken longer than expected to. So yeah, it's been an uphill battle. We've been pushing this boulder up a hill.
Wow, you're a busy man. Holy cow.
Oh yeah, holy cow is right. Like that sucker is the mascot for Chick-fil-A for a reason. Yeah, good times. Oh my goodness. But yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So with the wonderful rebranding of the wonderful books, heck. So any advice for those who are looking to repackage the book of their own? Because heck, even myself, like there may be times in the future where it's like, all right, book number one is going to need a nice little facelift right here. So what would probably be the first step of advice you want to give to someone who may looking to relaunch their magical books into the bigger stratosphere?
I think it's really important to know what the books in your genre look like. And it's not because you want to copy the books and make yours look exactly like them. What you want to do is understand that readers have an expectation of what a book in your genre looks like. and you want to attract that reader. And if your book doesn't fit in with the others, they're not going to pick it up. They're not going to think it is what they're looking for. So that would be my first bit of advice. And my second bit of advice would be search the covers that you really like, that you think are great. Find out who designed them. A lot of times the person who designed the books will be acknowledged inside, and you can sometimes see that with the peek inside just on Amazon. And when you have a list of the ones that are the best, you can also check out Joel Friedlander. Every month does a, I think he calls it his, it's a ebook cover award. And you can see what's trending, what's popular. You can also, they include the name of the designers of those book covers in that blog post for Joel Friedlander. And once you have a list, get in touch with them, because the next surprise that happened to me was that I didn't realize how far in advance you have to book some of these people. So depending on what your own schedule is, you can expect to wait 3 to 6 months to get a slot on their production calendar.
Ah, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That's solid advice. Because that's so darn true. Because everybody and their mom almost literally nowadays are writing and publishing books. And it's like, oh, book cover designs, like, yay, some business. Yay, hooray,
Yeah.
business. Oh, too much business right now. You got to wait a few months. Like, oh, darn.
Mm.
Yes, indeed. Because that's so darn true. It's like, hey, definitely got to plan even further in advance. So, on average, what would you say would be your writing pace for your books based on your past 7 so far, while number 8 is waiting to be approved for that nice slice of a big contract for you that awaits?
I like the way you think. It takes about a year. By the time I start writing to the time I finish editing, it's a year. And I sometimes overlap. Like I'll have one book finished and out to the editor, and I may start working on the next one while that's happening. But then I have to put it aside when the edit comes back. So yeah, it takes about a year. There's a lot of little steps in there, from the writing to, I always have it beta read. I have some readers who are my little guinea pigs, and they're very brave. They read the first versions, and then I take their input into account, and then I send it out to a structural editor who takes a look at the whole story and just, tells me what's working and what's not working. And then after I've incorporated all their comments, it goes back out to some more beta readers, and then comes back to me again, and then it goes to a copy editor. And when it comes back from the copy editor, I'm reminded just how poor a writer I am. So humiliating getting that red edit back. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm using the wrong words or repeating the words in the same paragraph and not even knowing you've done it. So it's a good thing I have a very good copy editor, Rachel Small, if you're looking for her. And then after that's done, because I do it myself, it's creating the files and getting the files uploaded. And I will have, of course, already had the cover by then. And then the marketing part of it that takes on a life of its own, of course, once it's done. So yeah, it's a year just to produce them, write and produce.
Sounds about right. It's kind of funny you said that you have some brave beta readers. Like, come on, it's not that bad.
The first draft of the first book, yeah, they were brave. They should have got danger pay for sure.
So did you put like one of them yellow triangles on book number 2 when you asked them to beta read again?
Yeah, the skeletal hand. No, they were very kind. They were very kind, but really good feedback. And they've saved my bacon. I had a couple of times where I had a whole scene. I shouldn't say a couple of times. It was just the one time I had an entire scene using the wrong character's name.
Ooh.
And I didn't catch it. I mean, you don't catch your own stuff. So thank goodness for beta readers. She said, I'm pretty sure you don't mean this guy. Don't you mean this other guy? Oh, yeah.
The gift of beta readers, indeed. Definitely the magical gift of beta readers. A godsend, indeed. Because that definitely wrong. It's like, hey, ain't this character dead? Like, oh, whoops, my bad. Didn't have coffee.
Okay, well, there's one for the record books, I think.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like people literally don't come alive until they have coffee.
Oh, so you write fantasy supernatural stuff too.
In my head. But don't worry, it's all natural. Although, if I call myself a superhero, does it make it supernatural?
And now I'm thinking of hero sandwiches.
There we go. Hero sandwiches. That's right. Wonder Woman. Never mind. All right, never mind. That's going to go down to dark rabbit hole. So, speaking of magical rabbit holes with the wonderful thrillers, do you believe there may be another genre you might explore? Do you think you may ever decide to write a Western novel?
A Western? Wow. I don't know. That sounds interesting, though. I like the idea. I'm writing a Christmas story right now, and it's happy. It ends happy. My books don't all end happy, but yeah, Western. I never even thought of that. Are you thinking like a modern Western, or are you thinking, back in the 1850s Western?
No, I'm thinking both, as long as there's a cowboy hat involved.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. Like I said, I can look. So we might have to go and get inspired by some Western book covers, romance Western book covers. I think they would be really good inspiration.
So, since this is far from your first rodeo, is there a question that you wish to be asked more often when you're on the wonderful interview tour that you're on?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, there is one question I don't get asked ever, but not often enough for sure. And that is, may I buy the film rights to your book series? That question.
Okay. I'll take a rain check on that one. Nope.
Yeah, not many film studios have interviewed me yet, but I'll save that question for them. How about that?
There you go. Because that's not my realm of expertise. I just do these magical podcasts and take nothing and turn it into a dad joke for no reason.
Well, you got lots of material.
Heck yeah, that's right. Thin air is the perfect source of material. And I might make that a social media post already. That's what I'm talking about. So, film rights to the wonderful novels, award-winning novels, possibly a Western novel. Oh,
Possibly
yeehaw.
Western.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Might even be a romance Western in your case, right? Since we went down that rabbit hole.
Yep. Yep. Could be. Could be. I would not say no.
Sweet. There we go. So that means the creativity is on at a high level. So what keeps you creative?
What keeps me creative? I guess reading. reading keeps me creative. I'm constantly amazed when I read books and wonder how on earth did they think of that? Yeah, that's what it is. It's reading. I recently finished Victoria Aveyard's Red Queen, Red Blood, no, Red Queen series. Oh my goodness. She has such a wicked imagination. She has supernatural people doing things I would never have thought of. And that inspires me.
Sweet. That's what I'm talking about, indeed. Heck, that's really how writers are made by reading great books.
Yeah, so true.
That's right. The magical authors behind them. There we go. He probably cast a spell on me before this interview happened because I keep on using magic more than usual.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
All right. She admits that she knows spells. All right. There we go.
Just never enough magic.
Then again, she's a writer, so she definitely knows how to spell. Yeah.
Yeah, I got that one. Good one. I think that's a 10-pointer.
Woohoo! All righty. That's what I'm talking about. The points are increasing. That's right. Soon the Legos will grow even higher.
That's when you get into that thin air and stratosphere.
Yeah, that's right. Where it stays extra thin. That's right. Magical thin. Maybe slim fast thin. Heck, maybe anorexia thin.
Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah, that's ghastly.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness. Well, we're coming down to the magical question that every guest gets to receive, and that is if you're to wake up tomorrow and you're 25 again, but this time in the current year of 2021 with all of your knowledge and experience, what advice would you give to yourself?
Start writing sooner. Discover the magic sooner. I mean, I probably could have started writing sooner, although, life experiences, I think, make you a richer writer. But yeah, write sooner and stop worrying what everyone else is thinking. They're not thinking about you. Just write.
Boom. That's what I'm talking about. The mic drop right there for Biz JP, baby. That's right. Life experiences make you a richer writer. That's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed. They're on the back of a t-shirt, folks. They're on the back of a t-shirt. That's right. Especially when there's green tea involved.
With my next career, t-shirt maker.
Ah, there you go. That's right. Well, I guess in your case, you probably want to be the rainmaker.
Magic maker. How about that?
Ah, that's right. The magic continues indeed. That's right. The magical white magic. That's right.
Maybe a
And
little bit of black magic. Maybe just a little bit.
okay. Well, then again, that's what I'm here for.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Good. I'll consider you my resource.
Sweet. Alrighty. I will teach you the chocolate spell later.
Okay. I'm up. I'm up for it.
Actually, nah, never mind. If I do that, then you'll know the secret, and then you'll be like, no, I don't want to eat all this chocolate, but I can make it at will. No, all I'm eating is chocolate. It's like, why does my pen look like chocolate? It's like Dharma website looks like chocolate. No, I'm eating it too.
Mm.
Oh my goodness. Well, speaking of chocolate, folks probably want to devour the chocolate known as your fabulous novels and the ones that are to come. So, for those who want to keep in magical contact with you and keep up with all that you're doing, what's the best way for folks to reach out to you?
Probably through my website. It's jpmcleanauthor.com. And my Twitter handle is at JP McLean Author. And my Facebook page is JP McLean Books. And Yeah, on my website, you can find a bookstore tab that has purchase links to all the books and all the major resellers or booksellers, and some local indie stores that carry the books.
Woohoo! There you have it, folks. Going out there, buy all of JP's books. Tell your friends about him. Tell your goldfish and your cat about him. Indeed, buy from your local bookstore if they have them. If they don't have it, ask for it. So that way ye shall receive indeed. That's right. In magical deed. So any parting words before we close up shop, JP?
No, thanks for having me on, Don. This has been such a pleasure. I've enjoyed myself immensely, and happy reading to all the listeners out there.
This is your host, Don Brightman. Hope you enjoyed what you just heard. And if you really did, do me a solid and leave a review if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, on YouTube, wherever you're listening to. And subscribe to hear more because more is coming your way to advance you further than before.